Have you ever found yourself in a situation with a group of people that was bad and you knew you shouldn't be there, and everything that mom and dad told you just started rolling into your head? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about the power of community, specifically a good community, and the type of people you should seek out to surround yourself with. Hey, I'm Brandon Alexander. I'm almost 40, and I spent the last few years, the last 20 years, developing a PhD in tacos, beer, junk food, and zero self-control. But now I'm walking toward the best possible version of me I can be. If you're new here, I'd like to take this time to welcome you to the channel. And if you're coming back, hey, welcome back. I'm happy to see you again. So this particular video is going to be about community and the people you surround yourself with. You see, they say that you're the product of the closest 5 people to you. So if you find that there are people that aren't really going anywhere in life, and that's your immediate circle, you're likely the 6th person that is not going anywhere either. It's not a secret. The people that you're around the most, you emulate them. You do the things that they do. They don't show up for work, you don't show up for work. They don't show up for school, you don't show up for school. You find yourself making the same excuses that they make for not showing up, and also for not accomplishing anything, for staying stuck where you're at. You see, those people will put ideas in your mind that every limitation that you have is not your own fault, but it's someone else. It's because of the man, it's because of the government, it's because of your husband or wife, because of your kids, and the list goes on and on and on. A bad community is never short of excuses on why their life isn't going anywhere at all. As a matter of fact, it seems like that's what they spend the majority of their time on, is looking at ways to justify why they haven't went anywhere, instead of spending time on self-improvement. Now, are desiring to be a smart, healthy individual, wouldn't it make sense to develop the habits of people that put the time and energy into becoming that themselves? I mean, think about it. You have your role models, you have your people that you looked up to since you were a kid, and you did your best to emulate them. Maybe you tried to talk like them, walk like them. You know, if they were a superhero, you dressed like them for Halloween, and in your mind, you were essentially their equivalent. Well, imagine that with a positive group of people, a person that is working on self-improvement first and pushing all the distractions aside. There's a lot to learn from that person, because that person is setting an example of what happens when you show up day in and day out. The same thing goes for people that are setting aside time to develop a particular skill so that they are better suited to attack problems that they may come across in their everyday life. You see, we don't know exactly what we're going to face on a regular basis, but the better influences we have in our life, you know, those are the people that we can take inspiration from and begin to produce a leadership mentality, you know, where we're able to solve our own problems and issues. I feel like for me, this discipline, I can take 99% of the credit for it, but I also did look to other individuals on YouTube, on different platforms, that really just went to the next level and dedicated their time and energy and effort into just becoming the most in-shape person that I've ever seen. You know, the things that they're able to do, particularly some individuals that do calisthenics. I like the way that they're able to lift their body over a bar, or the flagpole pose where they're horizontal to a bar is just fascinating. And it all starts with the mind and seeking out the right community. The majority of times that I see these videos, I see that they're with a group of people that are also in fantastic shape. I don't think that's a coincidence. And everybody isn't necessarily trying to one-up each other, but they're trying to be the tide that raises all boats. You know, when the tide goes higher in the ocean, the boats literally lift up because the tide is higher, and since boats float, they stay on top of the water. And that's how we need to be with our communities. I've formed a pretty decent community of people here on YouTube as well as in real life. And I'm not saying YouTube is fake. I'm just saying that the physical connection with someone is completely different than a digital connection. You know, there's my barber that I talk to every single week. We'll have a conversation about finances. He's in real estate, you know, how his kids are doing in the different sports activities. He's always running around. But it's nice to have that sense of community. He doesn't bring negative stuff to the plate, and neither do I. We're on a path to uplift each other. We're on a path to become better through sharing our stories of positivity with each other. And if we are struggling with something, one of us will likely have insight to help the other out. That's the power of good community. You know, the business ideas that we can pass back and forth to each other, the life experiences and how we handled things, we can pass that back and forth to each other. There's just so much value in sharing a relationship with a good community. When you're growing up, your parents, they want the best for you. You know, sometimes it doesn't seem that way. Sometimes it seems like they might just be on your back for no reason at all. But the thing to realize is they already went through the situations and scenarios that you are currently experiencing. So they have insight into it. They've already dealt with the negative aspects of the things that you're experiencing right now, and they're just trying to save you from having to go through that. You know, it's the equivalent of when you resist advice from your parents and people that love you. It is essentially the equivalent of being stuck in the middle of the ocean. Someone throws you a lifesaver and you reject it. That sounds like a very stupid idea. Yet, as kids, as teenagers, as young adults, this information gets rejected day by day, and it really doesn't make sense. It's very counterproductive. And that's part of that good community. Why wouldn't your parents love you? They literally created it. You spent time in your mom's stomach you spent that time inside of your mom, 9 months, kicking, flipping over. You think she doesn't love you? Come on. It's only going to tell you the things that are going to help you out. And she's going to take out all the roadblocks, the speed bumps that she had to go over. And when you accept that advice and don't reject it or resist it, your life just gets so much easier. Also think about when you are exposed to a new community, a new set of people, you know, someone that's in a higher financial class than you, and they give you some advice, and it doesn't seem like it might work, you should probably take it. Because if you desire to change your situation, the things that you're doing right now likely aren't the things that are going to get you to where you need to be. It's a cold hard truth, but it is a truth. And that's what a better community can do for you. They can present new ideas that aren't common, that aren't often spoken about, that can really just change the path of your life for the better. There's things you desire, and when you think about them so much, people and situations present themselves right in front of your eyes. But if you're not open to accepting the knowledge and wisdom from other people, you're going to stay stuck exactly where you are. And whose fault is that? I mean, you got to take some of the blame, right? But it really is all of the blame that you got to take. I've rejected information in the past and found out the hard way. I'm not a being proponent of finding out the hard way, though. That's not how I like to learn. I usually look at other people's experiences with different situations, and I learn from that. I'll ask them questions about it, and I take it to heart because they've been through the situation that I haven't, and I know how to avoid that thing moving forward. And I've also saved people from negative situations. I'll give you an example. I was at a client's house, an elderly lady, probably in her mid-70s to 80 years old. And I was helping her with something on her computer when she got a phone call. The caller ID read Microsoft. She picked it up, and someone from overseas came on the phone with a familiar accent and just started talking to her. I asked her to put the phone on speaker, and I realized that there was some bad actor on the other end of the line. It wasn't really from Microsoft. It wasn't really trying to help her out. What he was trying to do is help himself to her credit card details by way of remote desktop and having her enter her information on the screen so he could see what she entered. There's a lot of bad people out there. There's a lot of people that'll present the concept that you need to lie, cheat, and steal to get ahead. But that's just not true. That's just not real. That's not necessary. When you get around the right people, your mind shifts. You know, you get to see things for how they actually are, rather than from a perspective of the world is against me. When you remove that world is against me filter from your eyes, when you see things for how they really are, that's when you can really make progress toward your goals. Thinking about making this particular video 360 so you can see the sunrise to my right in this direction. Or maybe I'll make it 180, I'll see how it works out. If I do make it 360, it'll have a little 360 icon on the thumbnail. But the sunrise is really nice right now, just a little off topic, but it's okay, it's my channel. I can go off topic and bring it right back. There's beauty in experiencing a sunrise every single morning. It awakens you from within. It's different than any other feeling that you can experience. And everybody, I mean, a lot of people, I'm not gonna say everybody, there are people that get up before the sun comes up, a lot of people, but there's this inner conflict with waking up early because you used to have to wake up early to go to school when you were young. It wasn't an option. So now you're rebelling against the system by sleeping in. I'm gonna sleep in, I need my sleep, my 10, 12, 11, 13 hours of sleep. I stayed up too late, so I gotta sleep to the afternoon, literally sleeping your life away. You only get one shot at this. There is no insert another coin and hit continue. This is it. It will hit harder for you the older you are. And I'm likely just telling you something you already know. But any day is a good day to assess the community that you have around you and make a change to add more positive people, or maybe just remove some negative people, or spend some time by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that either. I wake up early. Now it's just the normal time that I wake up, which is 3 a.m. But I find that because I do so, I have hours every single morning where I can think, where I can speak, where I can process my thoughts. You know, a lot of times we're dealing with unprocessed thoughts from days, weeks, months, years ago. Someone cut you off, someone wronged you, a friend or family member, and you never really processed it because there's just so much going on in your life. And because you're unwilling to get up a little bit earlier and give yourself a little bit more time, you're always rushing from one engagement to another, those unprocessed thoughts just stack up. And then what happens when you're having a bad day? They all come to the front of your mind. There is quite a bit of vanity in taking care of yourself, but you don't realize it until you get on the path to do it. Like, I became intentional about the people I surround myself with. I don't drink anymore, so I'm not gonna go to a bar. There's no place there for me. An engagement where there's a lot of drinking, I'm not gonna be there. It doesn't suit me. I worked on the Las Vegas Strip all of last week and earlier this month. It's tough, smoking, drinking, and it's not that I am tempted by it. I just don't want to surround myself with it. I understand how it damages people, what it does to people. I see people in the middle of the afternoon getting taken out on gurneys by the paramedics who could be saving someone's life that really needs it. But instead, someone was extremely irresponsible and drank way too much, thinking that since they crossed the state line, their alcohol tolerance went up. Wow. But what they don't really realize is it all stays the same, no matter where you're at. It just doesn't matter. Community is everything. I'm telling you, community is everything. The few positive people I have around me right now are helping propel me to different levels than I ever thought I could achieve. We don't have to do everything by ourselves. We just need to seek out the people that are really in our corner, the people that really want us to win, and not the people that are acting like they want us to win because they have some type of hidden agenda, because they want to latch onto us when we finally do succeed, but they're in secret rooting for us to fail. And it's okay to ask these questions of people, to ask what their motives are. Be direct about it. You only get one chance. Would you rather spend years around someone that means you no good? Or would you rather figure out what their motives are from the get-go so that you know that this is a person that you shouldn't be spending any time with? Like, it's an easy question to ask. You know, it may give you that gut feeling like, oh man, you know, I don't know if I can ask this person this question because I don't know how they're going to take it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really even matter. If it's a bad relationship, it's a bad relationship. If it's a bad community member, it's a bad community member. If they mean you harm, wouldn't you want to get them out of your circle as quickly as possible? If they're not going anywhere, if they're locked onto the same thing and you're really trying to change and they're holding you back, when you want to cut it? So that's something I want you to think about when you're thinking about building a community, write a few things down as far as your values are concerned. And, ask yourself, with each person in your group, do they have these qualities? Yes, people can change, but will they? Will they? I remember growing up with people that were in college for 8 years, 10 years. They weren't going to be a doctor. They were studying the same thing at a community college. And I don't know if they graduated or not. I know they didn't end up in that industry. It's just time wasted. Do you want to be with people that are literally just doing something, just going along to get along? Or do you want to be with someone that is breaking the mold of the life they thought they're predetermined to have, the life that everyone else told them they're going? I'm uninterested in living a life that someone else told me I'm going to live. I want the best possible version. I will not accept anything else. And if you're looking to improve yourself, neither should you. If you found any type of value in this video, I would like you to leave the word improve in the comment section. I appreciate you staying to the end. I'm going to put a card for a playlist somewhere around here so you can take a look at some of my other videos. And if you're on a path of self-improvement, I hope that you stick around. I hope that you subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to show up for you every single day. I'm going to be here, whether it's here in Vegas or a different city or a different country. I have made a commitment to myself and to you to show up every single day with some new content and a new idea. I hope to see you again. Bye for now.